Konrad Adenauer, the first Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, embraced the whole world in his horizon. His ever-widening vision catapulted West Germany from the ravages of war to its emergence as the most prosperous economy in Europe. The economic miracle was achieved in an environment of peace and freedom through a rule of law. He believed in civic and political education for nurturing democratic principles that worked in a social market economy. Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung, KAS, a foundation that propagates his philosophy to people around the world, was founded in 1964 in St. Augustine. Since then, KAS has reached out to 120 countries to foster a truly liberal democratic order. KAS worked tirelessly over the last 50 years in partnering India on its tryst with democracy.
The idea is to promote democracy in the world, in the countries we are, as we have learned to build up democracy in Germany after the Second World War. And this includes freedom of the individual. It includes that there is a system of rule of law, and of course that people have their income, where we believe is working best with the concept of a social market economy, meaning you have the freedom of a market, but when it's necessary to intervene for a strong government, for social security and other reasons, it will do so.
Wherever we work, we offer to change experiences. To change our experiences on the rise and fall of democracy, for example. Germany is an example of the sensibility and the risk of democratic procedures and structures which are not as stable as we would like them to be. We have experiences with different types of running an economy. We always look for partners. We never do our job on our own. We always do it with institutions, with parliamentarians, with parties, with universities, with think tanks in the respective country.
KAS set foot in India in 1968. KAS's outreach in the hinterland of India spanned villages and towns. In the initial years, KAS India focused on empowering the marginalized sections of society and skill development among the youth who would be the future of this nation. KAS worked with numerous partners engaged in nation building at the grassroots level through their training modules on Panchayati Raj and rule of law. KAS's approach gradually widened to embrace the pillars of India's democracy. KAS's initiative of facilitating the exchanges between the Indian representatives and their German counterparts fostered bilateral ties and international cooperation. The mutual learning enabled the beneficiaries to implement the superior practices and ideas gleaned from these exchanges.
They have either held events over here, sponsored it, and also taken people from here to Germany to give them a feel of, okay, how is German politics, democracy, how do issues come up over there?
Well, KAS has several programs, but they have the advantage of, not deciding the solution first. They look for the solution within the country.
Media is the watchdog of any liberal democracy. With this insight, KAS now seeks to bolster the training of budding journalists. Over the last decade, with KAS's support, many young minds have learned to uphold the freedom of speech in their reportage and editorials. Leadership is quintessential for any democracy to flourish. Young politicians are catalysts of change and are future opinion makers whose ideas and perspectives inspire policies for governance. Today, KAS engages them in conversations to widen their horizons and equip them with particular skill set to work for the welfare of the people.
They are focusing more on the upcoming leaders, on the future leaders, youth leaders. So their program of KAS youth program, that clearly has a focus only on the budding politicians who may enter into the social media streamline, media, legislature or into the organization setup.
KAS in the last 10-15 years has come so far. You'll see parliamentarians across the world who've been fellows of KAS. And that is incredible because KAS now has a strong, positive and a democratic base in the world.
As a political think tank, KAS facilitates dialogues and exchange of ideas on a wide spectrum of developmental and international issues, upholding democratic tenets.
You know, when you travel abroad, meet your counterparts, meet different people, whether they are from the media, from politics, from the opposition parties of that country, your canvas increases in its size. And every time I came back feeling more confident.
In Germany, the prevalent system of law is the civil law. In India, it is the rule of the common law. KAS brings legal experts of both the countries together. Their exchange of ideas has greatly improved their respective justice delivery systems.
There are certain good elements of the civil law system which are gradually getting incorporated into the common law system because of the European Union. So I think we can make some adjustments in our justice delivery system, learn from the visits and exchanges with German judges.
The driving force is law. Law is a globalizing instrument, and it is rule of law which binds different jurisdictions together. So I should think this rule of law dialogue, which the foundation has taken up as a major activity around the world, has a specific focus on which these academic exchanges could be built.
KAS is now focusing on boosting bilateral trade, investment and partnership in the era of economic cooperation.
I think Adenauer Foundation has an important role on these issues. They organize contact, they bring people together to share opinions and convictions, and we see in a lot of countries that Adenauer Foundation can also transform best practice experiences.
I think if there's a relationship that's built up with Germany, it's courtesy KAS. There's no doubt about it that as an institution, it is doing a tremendous job in linking people to people, and those are enduring relationships.
KAS, in collaboration with its partners, is continually working to support medium and small-scale enterprises to adapt to the latest technology in the era of digitization and to the government's changing policies and practices.
This project, PhD KAS project as we call, is doing its job. But we have to change with the times. We have to prepare ourselves.
Our partnership with KAS helps us to meet the aspiration of so many of the people, because we could focus on diversified activities what the members are expecting from us.
We started this Wiki KAS dialogue series where we are getting people from both sides to discuss and debate on issues which normally are not discussed between countries or between people of one country and another.
With India's growing strategic importance in the Indo-Pacific hotspot, KAS is now focusing on collaborating with Indian think tanks to evolve suitable policy responses to security challenges in this geostrategic region.
In areas of international relations and security, programs such as disarmament questions, programs such as a trilateral dialogue between India, China and Germany, which brought together different experiences and tried to bridge the gap in our understandings of each other. And in this, the Konrad-Adenauer-Stiftung has brought its vast European and international experience and provided an interaction for India with the world.
The prosperity of Germany and the European Union is linked with developments in the Indo-Pacific region, of which India is an essential component. So developments, for example, in the Indian Ocean region, are going to directly impact India's well-being as well as Germany's own well-being. Therefore, KAS's role in India is a role that seeks to promote Germany's long-term interests while being cognizant of India's own long-term interests.
Over the last 50 years, beneficiaries of KAS's initiatives have multiplied across the length and breadth of India. The journey has enriched KAS and its partners. Its exemplary work continues to permeate Indian democracy as it looks forward to productive opportunities unfolding in the future. KAS's ever-widening thought and action and its foray into every walk of Indian life reflects its commitment to partnering India's rise among the nations.